All right, listen up. If you think gun rights only die under Democrats, you're asleep. Because today, the president said not once, but twice, he shouldn't have had a gun. Listen to him.
You can't walk in with guns. You just can't. And you can't, listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. But it's just a very unfortunate incident.
Okay. Let's see, maybe. Let's see what else he has to say. At another gathering, he made another speech about this.
Assessment from some of your own officials that Alex Freddie is a domestic terrorist or an assassin.
Well, I haven't heard that, but certainly he shouldn't have been carrying a gun. But hey, look,
Again, he shouldn't have been carrying a gun. So not once but twice today he said that.
Everybody,
but then he goes further.
In this room, we view that as a very unfortunate incident. Okay, everyone, unless you're a stupid person.
Now he's saying stupid person. Then this comes out of his mouth next.
Very, very unfortunate incident. I don't like that he had a gun. I don't like that he had 2 fully loaded magazines. That's a lot of bad stuff.
Whoa, 2 fully loaded magazines, a lot of bad stuff. Is that what you call 2 fully magazines? I call that EDC, or everyday carry. That's what I call it. I've even seen, dude, in the comments section of my videos and Instagram posts, people saying, why conservatives, Patriots, 1776. Why do you need 2 magazines? Who's going there for mass casualty, harm? Dude, have you ever not used a firearm? Like they sometimes malfunction in the feed, man. You drop mag and put a new one in. You always carry a spare mag, and 1 is none, 2 is 1, 1 is none. I don't know where these folks come from. All the patriots, the MAGAs, they've been, what the president did today was not a slip. It was not poor wording. I said it multiple times. We also played yesterday and the day before Crash Patel saying the same exact language. Kristi Noem saying the same exact language. They're all, Scott Bessent, all saying the same freaking thing. And that is the exact language they used to bury rights without ever having to pass a law. And I'm going to tell you right now, the most dangerous gun control doesn't come from the left. It comes from when the right starts using leftist language and calls it common sense. Oh, it's common sense. He shouldn't have had a firearm at the protest. Before the Trump's cult starts crying, just relax a second. Because it's not about personality, it's about patterns. And let me say this before I go any further, because if you just stumbled upon my channel today and you got your red hat on and you say, oh, you must be a leftist. Dude, go watch my videos from 2020 till now. Go watch every freaking one of them. I have lost business. I have lost customers for defending Trump. Money that goes to my children, I have lost for that. Maybe you don't know this. My old timers do. I used to do a lot of stuff in television, right? I had a show one time, got canceled. Anyway, after that, I worked a lot of behind the scenes. So I know a lot of producers, know a lot of people. Anyway, I wrote a show that I'd been trying to get for years. Okay. This show would be epic. Nothing like it before. Anyhow, it was right during that time when the world was going freaking chaotic. I got homies in the industry that work in the production sense, because how it works is production companies sell projects to mainstream networks. This show that I've been working on for years finally got a big deal on it. As soon as they looked at my social media, they canned it. We can't work with that guy because obviously his political views. So don't freaking sit here and tell me something about this, about I must be this or that. You hadn't put the skin in the game I have. So just stop that junk right there. But a lot of people live where they don't even remember, they don't remember anything. They got a memory of a goldfish, because rights don't disappear when they're banned. They disappear when your own side starts apologizing for those rights, those very rights. Once the language shifts from constitutional right to he shouldn't have, I don't care what you say I shouldn't have. You're already in a danger zone when you're using that type of language, because now the conversation isn't, is it legal? Is it acceptable? Oh, he shouldn't have did it. Oh, he was a leftist. That is how rights die, with a smile in a press conference. He shouldn't have a gun is not Second Amendment language. I don't care who you are, who you're trying to defend. It's just not. That is risk management language, bureaucrat language. That's we need to do something language. I would not be surprised if some new legislation doesn't come through very soon about you can't have firearms at gatherings. It always starts the same way. Not illegal, not unconstitutional. It's just bad. You don't remember 2020? Once something lawful gets framed as bad stuff, the next step is easy. Regulation, restriction, and then the precedent. Again, dude, we've seen this movie already. It's mind-boggling. Bump stocks?
Knocking out bump stocks. I've told the NRA, I've told it, bump stocks are gone.
What did he say?
We're knocking out bump stocks. I've told the NRA, I've told it, bump stocks are gone.
Okay, bump stocks are gone. The Patriots, I knew the Patriots. Some of my friends. I don't care about the bump stocks. I don't use them. I don't use night vision. Who cares? Oh, you remember this jewel here?
Or might take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times,
because that's constitutional. What did he say?
Might take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times, by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due.
Yeah, throw us fights away, because
first and
courts take too long.
Firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system. Because a lot of times, by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early.
I like taking the guns early. Hell, we even got Megyn Kelly today saying let's ban whistles. Dude, we won't have a butter knife in this joint for the MAGA conservative. We won't have them. Every time, the 2 weeks, we're just going to shut down for 2 weeks. Who did that? Who did warp speed? Every time something is sold as temporary, every time it's sold as reasonable, it's got to save lives. Every time conservatives defend it because they think it's aimed at the bad guys. MAGA thinks it's aimed at the bad guys. Well, he was a leftist. He was interfering with the investigation. I want to see the video where there was an investigation freaking happening. I want to see. I've seen a ICE agent pushing a woman. And yeah, we probably don't agree on anything. Me and her probably agree on nothing. I'm just not into pushing women, though. I don't know. I'm also not into defending Jeffrey Epstein class. That was a hoax. If Biden, if there was something in there, Biden would have did it. Well, if the Democrats didn't do it, why should we do it? Until they realize the definition of a bad guy expands forever. That's what happens every time. It expands forever. Rights don't die screaming, guys. They die while everybody just nods their head along like obedient little hall monitors. In 2024, if you don't remember this, Kyle Rittenhouse, he broke ranks. He criticized Trump on the very thing, 2A. Pressure came down on him hard. People started slamming him. So then he recanted. He started the past 12 hours. I've had a series of productive conversations with members of the Trump team, and I'm confident he will be a strong ally to gun owners need to defend our Second Amendment rights. My comments made last night were ill-informed and unproductive. I'm 100% behind Donald Trump and encourage every gun owner to join me in helping him back to the White House. Well, why hasn't the NFA been dismantled yet? They did a little something with the suppressors, but now it costs 10 times more. You fast forward to today, after Trump's comments about the guns and magazine, the guns on Alex and the magazines, Kyle Rittenhouse posts this: carry everywhere. It is your right, shall not be infringed. That dude is alive today because of that. He carried a rifle to a protest. Yeah, he wasn't impeding an investigation, I guess, but it saved his life. That's recognition for something he experienced. Because people who actually understand this issue knows what just happened. The language shifted. And once that language shifts, the policy always follows. Every time. And here's the rule they never teach you, but it runs the entire system. Whatever they want to do to you, they do it to someone you hate first, so you'll agree with it. Listen to me again. Whatever they want to do to you, they do to someone you hate first, so you will agree with it. Surveillance, sound familiar? Patriot Act, yeah. Those terrorists, I'm not a terrorist. They're doing it with ICE right now too. Palantir surveillance. Right? You ain't seeing laws get passed on them, but it's running right now. Censorship happened, still happening. All my homies were kicked off social media almost. I mean, folks with 10 followers. I'm not talking about big YouTube channels. I'm talking about the family. They're getting kicked off social media. Called extremist. Gun controls, right? Radicals. Oh man, those leftists take their guns. The trans. Remember that? That's how it always starts. Oh, I don't need a pistol grip. And once you clap for it, you've handed them the precedent. The same thing with bump stocks. Every little piece. Because president doesn't care who you voted for, guys. It doesn't care what flag you have in your bio on Facebook. It just spreads. And if you look at how fast the story forms every time something happens, he was known to authorities now. Isn't it always that? He had prior contact. He was on our radar. They're always on the radar. What are we doing? If this guy was a threat and already on the radar, then why are we going around and asking for IDs in the street from guys eating their lunch? Why are we not taking care of, if this guy they're saying that he was on their radar as being a threat, why did they not do something? They said the same thing about Ryan Routh, I think. Yeah, he was on the radar. Thomas Crooks was on the radar. Every freaking time they say it. And I'm not saying every person is innocent. That's not the point. The point is the narrative forms immediately so the public will accept the next move. Because once someone is dead, they don't need facts, they need justification. And suddenly nobody's debating rights anymore. They're debating whether the victim deserved the rights. And that's the trap. It's the trap. And the thing about Alex Preddy, I'm going to say it. I don't care if you agree with his politics. That's part's irrelevant. I don't understand why people on social media can't get that. I'm not saying I agree with that dude politics at all. I don't know the guy. I couldn't find what he posted because they wiped his accounts. They scrubbed him. Me and this dude may not agree on a single thing. But let me tell you something real. Rights don't exist for people that I like. They don't exist for people that you like. They exist specifically for people you don't and people that I don't. Because the moment that rights become conditional or being approved by the tribe, you don't have rights, you have privileges. And I would hate for the next team, the other team, to have that power and do this very thing to me. Privileges can be revoked the second you're inconvenient to the system. And here's what I think is coming next. I'm going to call it. No guns at public gatherings. Common sense restrictions. Temporary measures maybe. And conservatives will sign off on it because they'll say, well, it's for safety. He was a crazy leftist and this and that. That's how it always happens. Not with a total ban, with small, reasonable steps that feel acceptable in the moment. Bump stocks is We don't even know what happened in Vegas. No idea. To this day, none of us knows what happens with the Vegas shooter. It's unclear, it's muddy, but bump stocks got banned for it. It's now a machine gun. 10 years later, everybody's like, hey, how do we end up here, guys? Bro, this is how. It's crazy, man. Even I've never seen Trump shoot a gun. I couldn't find a picture of it. Man, I even got Obama here shooting guns. Holy smokes. Trump ain't never shot a gun. I ain't never seen the man shoot a gun. The left has always hated guns. It's obvious, right? Not all. There's some people that are on left that like guns. They may hate the Second Amendment, though, that version of it. Obama shooting a shotgun here, obviously not an AR-15. So the left can like guns and not be pro-Second Amendment. The right can like guns and not be pro-Second Amendment. But what should scare you is when the right starts sounding exactly like them, only slower and with more patriot branding. Oh, he was in PD investigation. He had a gun on him. I'd hate for me to get wrapped up in something and they say, well, he was doing something and, had a gun on him, shoot him. When the president calls lawful gun ownership bad stuff, that's not pro 2A, man. That's the beginning of the sales pitch. And rights don't disappear when they're outlawed. They disappear when everyone agrees that this one exception makes sense. Watch the language. That's where the real fight is. Because the Second Amendment doesn't exist for people you agree with. It exists for the moments exactly like this, when fear, politics, and authority collide. And if you can't defend rights when it's inconvenient, then you never believed it in the first place. Stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Black Scout out.
2, 3. 4, 2.